Good afternoon. I'm Rob Boskamp, and you're listening to South Texas Midday. Thank you for joining me on this Thursday, September 18th. Tejano musician Bobby Pulido officially announced yesterday he is running for Texas's 15th congressional district. He will attempt to flip a Republican-held seat in 2026. Pulido, a singer and Edinburgh native with 3 decades worth of Tejano music, will take on Representative Monica de la Cruz, Republican Edinburgh. To meet de la Cruz in a general election, Pulido will first face a primary against Ada Cuellar, a Harlingen emergency physician unrelated to Representative Henry Cuellar, Democrat Laredo. The district stretches from McAllen to Central Texas. The Texas Tribune reported that the district voted for President Trump by an 18% margin last year. The district stretches from McAllen to Central Texas. The Texas Tribune reported that the district voted for President Trump by an 18% margin last year. A Roma woman is accused of filling in someone else's mail-in ballot during the November 2022 general election. Modesta Vela, a former Starr County employee, was arrested for collecting ballots and turning them in during the election, a process the Attorney General believes is illegal. The Texas Newsroom's Blaze Gainey has more.
A repeated target of the Attorney General's office, Vela is accused of entering a voter's home, filling out their mail-in ballot, and turning it into an elections office for them. At the time, Vela was working for Starr County Judge Eloy Vera's re-election campaign, along with many others. Vela has been charged several times with election-related crimes. In 2018, she was arrested twice on multiple counts of voter fraud, and once in 2010. Attorney General Ken Paxton said, quote, "Now it's time for Vela to answer for her actions in court." However, just last year, a federal judge said Texas can no longer investigate voter assistance efforts as a criminal act because there is no actual problem with collecting ballots and turning them in. I'm Blaze Gainey in Austin.
One Shoreline Plaza is scheduled for a foreclosure auction next month, according to a notice of sale filed with the Nueces County Clerk. The 800 North Shoreline Boulevard property was originally secured by a $24 million loan in 2015. According to the notice of sale, the borrower, One Shoreline Plaza LLC, defaulted on loan obligations. A trustee sale will take place at 10 a.m. October 7th at the Nueces County Courthouse. A burn ban is now in effect for Wharton County after a large commercial trash fire on the north side of El Campo last night. The El Campo Volunteer Fire Department reported that the fire was in a remote location, so water had to be hauled in. The department is advising motorists to use caution while driving in the northern part of the city. Luis and Denevang Volunteer Fire Departments were also on scene. Hackers are setting their sights on rural communities, and several Texas counties recently paid a price. Last month, Nueces County lost $2 million in an email phishing scam targeting the courthouse. Earlier this year, Matagorda County declared a disaster after hackers disrupted its internal systems. In 2019, Jackson County's computer systems and digital records were held hostage in a cyber attack. This week, 25 News Now reports that Crossroads leaders have stepped up security measures to better protect sensitive data. DeWitt County approved a new data security plan that includes an off-site backup of information to minimize the risk of losing records in another breach.
And it shuts down work for the county, shuts down the services that we provide to our constituents for property tax payments, not driver's licenses, but automobile registrations and records in the clerk's office for title companies.
That was DeWitt County Judge Daryl Fowler speaking to 25 News Now. In 2022, the county suffered a cyber attack that cost taxpayers $300,000. The incident shut down services ranging from property tax payments to access to public records in the clerk's office. An employee with Rio Grande City Grulla ISD is under review after making remarks regarding the assassination of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. District Superintendent Guadalupe Garza said in a statement the district is following guidelines by the Texas Education Agency. The statement did not identify the employee or what kind of remarks they allegedly made. The district is conducting its own review and will follow established rules, procedures, and guidelines in addressing employee misconduct. Goliad ISD is preparing for major changes to state testing in 2027. In 2 years, Texas House Bill 8 takes effect and replaces the end-of-year STAR exam with smaller assessments spaced throughout the school year. Goliad ISD Superintendent Holly Lyon told South Texas News the new approach does little to ease the pressures of standardized testing. She said House Bill 8, quote, simply repackages the same high-stakes system in a new format, narrows instruction, consumes valuable teaching time, and distracts from the deeper learning experiences students deserve, end quote. Lyon added that genuine reform would look different. San Benito CISD officials cut about $2 million in cost, and it's paid off. The district scored its first perfect score on the state's annual financial report card. The Texas Education Agency gave the district a grade of A with a score of 100% on its financial integrity rating system report based on officials' move to cut staffing levels to align with student enrollment numbers. Since the 2022-23 school year, the TEA had given the district scores of 98. The Valley Morning Star reports that officials are continuing to work on cutting costs, aiming to shift money into students' educations. The Catholic Diocese of Brownsville celebrated its 60th anniversary yesterday with a special Mass at Basilica of Our Lady San Juan de Val. The Diocese of Brownsville serves nearly 1.5 million Catholics in South Texas. And mum's the word as homecoming season is in the air across the state. Students in Yorktown are showing off their school spirit in big ways. The agriculture teacher's advanced floral class built a mega mum this year. 25 News Now reports the mum stands at 14 feet long, and this is the second year the class has taken on the project, focusing on making it as realistic and detailed as possible. And this Sunday, Texas Monthly will air its latest episode of the Story series featuring local legend and beachcomber Jace Tunnell. Right now, we go to Lon Gonzalez, who chats with the documentary's author Juli Berwald about her experience with Jace's story. Lon, Juli, good afternoon.
And a good afternoon, everyone. Lon Gonzalez with you. On the line, we've got Juli Berwald. She is a science writer who just finished an article, I guess you could say, about one of our very good friends here at the station, Mr. Jace Tunnell. And the story is called The Beachcomber King of Texas. Welcome, Juli. How are you today? And first question right off the bat is, what intrigued you about the Beachcomber King of Texas?
Well, Lon, thank you so much for having me. It's really fun to be able to talk to you about this. This was one of the most fun articles I've ever written, so I'm just delighted. I actually been following Jace's work for years. I've been kind of on the ocean beat long enough to have seen the question of, the plastic in our ocean kind of come to the forefront, and I noticed that Jace was trying to study that with his Nurdle Patrol, which I know you have talked to him about in the past. And so I actually tried to write some stories on the Nurdles. Nurdles are these pre-production plastic pieces that can get on the beach, and they look a lot like fish eggs, and they cause a lot of problems
for they do.
marine animals. And I was just interested in what he was doing. And I actually, just started following him after that, and I saw all the amazing posts that he started putting up on his YouTube channel through Heart Research Center, and I was fascinated, and I started, he posts these incredible finds from the beach, like messages in a bottle and weird fishing floats and, of course, creepy dolls, and I pitched the story to Texas Monthly, and they were like, yep, that sounds great. Go beachcombing with him. So that's kind of how it started.
Well, that's great. That's a great story. And yes, Jace does his very best to let us know what's going on at all of the local beaches. Now, knowing that you've been following him quite a bit here, does that also kind of intrigue you about what's going on with the rest of Texas beaches?
Yeah, I feel like, Jace is doing just an incredible job, not just monitoring the beaches, but communicating that with the people who live in Texas. And he really brings to life this coast that we have, the border that we have with the ocean that we somehow don't think about quite as much as we think about our other borders. And it's such an interesting place. It's so dynamic. There's so many things that wash up there that, don't just tell us about the ecosystem that we're on the edge of, but also kind of are a reflection of ourselves, because so many man-made items wash up on shore as well. So in terms of just acting as a muse, what Jace does is I think it's really important for us as Texans to see that and to interact with it and connect with it and try to reckon with it too.
Absolutely. Now, of course, this is a part of a Texas Monthly story. And, Texas Monthly, of course, if you're a Texan, you've picked up a copy on more than one occasion and read through these incredible stories about things going on in the great state. And now there's a TV program for Texas PBS stations called Texas Monthly Presents. And the first season, the story is transforming a lot of these great Texas Monthly articles into more cinematic type of approach and exposure of what's going on. And of course, we believe that Jace would be more than deserving of a slot here because let's face it, we love our Texas beaches and we want to know what's out there. And your contribution to the story is so detailed about everything. I'm looking at some of the articles, some of the pictures of things that he's found and whatnot. And of course, your work is the tying connection to everything for those who don't know about Jace Tunnell. Have you talked to anybody else, or has anybody else talked to you about this particular article or how it kind of transpired, how it kind of came about?
Yeah, I mean, I was really delighted when they decided to do the Texas Monthly Presents series on PBS. The producers reached out to me and they said, this was a very fun and interesting article, and we're talking about doing a segment on it for like you're saying on TV, and I was super flattered, of course, and but I also felt like it's actually an incredible. It should be on TV because part of what makes it so special is just seeing all of the things that wash up on the beach and seeing Jace's enthusiasm and his just insane knowledge of everything on the beach. And like you said, that comes to him, honestly. Like, his dad was also a marine scientist, and so as a little kid, I mean, he told me he never just went to the beach. It was always like a lesson out there, a biology lesson out there. So, I think that, I feel extremely honored to be able to have written the story for Texas Monthly, but having someone go out with a camera and walk the beaches with Jace just adds even more to this incredible part of Texas, and also celebrates all that Jace knows about marine science and all the other things that wash up on beaches.
Absolutely,
There's history out there, too.
There is. There certainly is. I agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Well, Jace, of course, has his own slot here on our local PBS station on KEDT TV, as well as a weekly beach report on our FM station, KEDT FM. So he is everywhere in the coastal bend as far as beach information and anything you need to know about what's going on our local coastlines here. So again, we thank you for your time today, Juli, and this wonderful article, and of course the upcoming segment about Jace Tunnell and his work on Texas Monthly Presents. So that's always just a nice little feather in our cap here in the coastal bend that showcases, look at what we've got here and look at the great people that take care of it. So again, your time, it's valuable. We thank you for that, and we thank you for taking the time and speaking with Jace about this and a most important situation, of course, with our environment. So appreciate the story and your time.
Well, thank you, and thanks for helping me help spread the word. I think it's a great story, too.
It's
one of the best I've ever done, I gotta say.
Oh, well, good, because it is a great outline of everything that he does, and again, we could not agree with you more on what you've written, and of course the upcoming segment here on Texas Monthly Presents. Thank you very much, Juli Berwald, and we'll hope to hear from you again very soon.
I'd love that.
And as a reminder, the first season of the story that transforms select Texas Monthly articles into cinematic films will air Sunday, 6:30 p.m. on KEDT TV, and every episode will combine stunning footage from across Texas with in-depth interviews featuring the writers themselves. And again, the segment on the beachcomber king of Texas, Jace Tunnell, comes your way Sunday at 6:30.
Thank you very much, Lon, and that is the latest news and information on South Texas Midday. I'm Rob Boskamp. Your community arts calendar and more is on the way.